Scarcity is defined as the condition that exists when the limited amount of resources in the economy is met with the unlimited human ones. Scarcity has always been one of the highlighted issues in the economy, hence, acknowledging whether it exists in an Islamic economy or not is essential to study the efficiency of this system and its relevance with other social economic issues like human behavior, distribution of resources, poverty, inequality, recession, inflation, and economic growth. Furthermore, looking deeper into scarcity in Islamic economics and ways to perhaps overcome it would lead us to finding more initiatives on promoting economic growth. Sustainable Development Goals (SDG), otherwise known as the Global Goals, recognizes that ending poverty must go hand in hand with strategies that build economic growth and address a range of social needs, including education, health, social protection, and job opportunities, while tackling climate change and environmental protection. As we further comprehend whether resources are scarce in the Islamic economy, we will notice the relevance between scarcity, socio-economic issues, SDG Goal 1 and SDG Goal 12. Thus, we will be looking at a few questions to address the existence of scarcity, the efficiency of the system, and its relevance with other socio-economic issues. What are the causes of scarcity in the modern world? In the economic realm, scarcity poses a complex puzzle. Imagine a world where economics units grapple with insufficient resources like land, labor, capital, and entrepreneurs to satisfy their limitless needs. That is the crux of the scarcity dilemma that we face. Scarcity reveals itself in three forms: supply induced scarcity, demand induced scarcity, and structural scarcity. Let us delve into the reasons behind each. Supply induced scarcity occurs when there is a noticeable shortage in the availability of resources, widening the gap between supply and demand. Environmental degradation exacerbates this by depleting our finite natural resources. Take water, for instance, a life-sustaining treasure. UNICEF reports that 1 in 4 people globally faces a shortage of clean water. The impact of climate change and events like chemical waste dumping in rivers only worsens this scarcity. Demand-induced scarcity, our next contender, arises from population growth and heightened consumption. North Africa grapples with serious water shortages due to rising populations, amplified by factors like increasing income levels and urbanization. Finally, structural scarcity is a consequence of the imbalances in wealth and power. This deep-rooted issue leaves certain groups with an excess of resources, while others struggle for sustenance. Consider healthcare, a glaring example of how rural populations face obstacles due to systemic deficiencies and unequal distribution. How does the concept of scarcity in Islamic economics differ from conventional economics? First, we would see the concept of scarcity in the Islamic economics. Islamic economics can be defined as a study of achieving human falah, which includes honor, freedom, and survival, by organizing resources given by Allah on the basis of participation and cooperation. Islamic economic system only deals with relative scarcity, where it is referred as the condition where people have to make choices between the existing resources due to the limitations of resources that are available to produce more goods and services. Therefore, by making choices, there will be an opportunity cost that they will have to let go in order to gain the most benefit from the choices that they have made. Hence, all economics agents will have to work together in order to fulfill each other's wants and needs in order to achieve their well-being. The next one would be the concept of scarcity in conventional economics. Conventional economics is the study of human behavior as it relates to the production, exchange, distribution, purchase, and consumption of products and services. In the context of scarcity, it recognizes both relative and absolute scarcity. As stated in Islamic economics, relative scarcity refers to the condition where people have to make choices between scarce commodities because there are limitations of resources that are available to produce different goods and services. Meanwhile, absolute scarcity is defined as the difference between limitless needs and limited resources, meaning that there will never be enough of either side of the system. Differences in concept of scarcity in conventional economics and Islamic economics. There are three differences in the concept of scarcity in Islamic economics and conventional economics. The first one is Islamic economics only deals with relative scarcity. Meanwhile, conventional economics deals with both relative and absolute scarcity. Next, conventional economics is a man-made system where it is derived from human thought and only applies the teachings from the modern philosophical opinions. Meanwhile, Islamic economics refers to the sources of the Quran, hadith of the Prophet Muhammad, and the thoughts of scholars and economists of Islam. Lastly, conventional economics places more focus on the material aspects of people's well-being and less emphasis on the greater good by encouraging individuals to pursue their own interests in satisfying their desires. In contrast, Islamic economics holds that people will be happy when they are able to satisfy both their material and spiritual requirements and must act in their own best interest. But it requires that these interests will be achieved within moral guidelines so it will not jeopardize the interest of the community.
Before answering this question, I would like to highlight that human behavior is influenced by their mentality. Since there are differences in the concept of scarcity between conventional and Islamic economy, the way they view or perceive scarcity also differs. To answer this question, Islamic economy is based on divine revelation and emphasizes taqwa, while conventional economics is based on theories and observations. In Islamic economy, man has taqwa, which is belief in the oneness of God and that He is the ultimate owner of all the resources. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala can restrict or expand resources to man based on His wisdom and knowledge. So, why is this mindset or understanding that God is the ultimate owner of resources is important? It is to avoid men from being greedy if they are not satisfied with what they have and know that the resources that they obtain is from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Furthermore, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala commanded man to pay zakat and give charity to the poor. As you already know, paying zakat is one of the 5 pillars of Islam, and there are many wisdoms to why God commanded men to pay zakat. Since man is made naturally greedy, paying zakat will make them think of the poor, and they will eventually become more generous in sharing their wealth. This same goes to giving charity. To add, paying zakat will prevent wealth from being concentrated in one place and that it will be circulated in the society. Therefore, this will reduce the gap between the rich and the poor, and the scarce resources will be shared in the society.
The Islamic economics system uses various strategies to distribute resources fairly and at the end impacting society positively. An emphasis on moral development, unity, and social justice guides the system. There are 3 main ways that the Islamic economic system has done distributing these resources, which includes through zakat. Islamic banking includes mudarabah and musyarakah, and prohibition of hoarding and speculation. Zakat, which divided into zakat fitrah and zakat harta, is a tool for distributing wealth to the 8 group that receive it. First of all, fakir. Second, poor. Third, amir. Fourth, mu'alaf. Then slave, people in debt, and people who fight for Allah, and people who are traveling, which is Ibn Sabil. The other way is where Islamic bank operates under Sharia principle that it is ensure the fair distribution of resources through profit and loss sharing and avoid unethical element like riba, gharar, zulm, and maisir in the Islamic banking system. In addition, the Islamic economic system also prohibits hoarding and speculation and prevents artificial shortage and economics problem. Failure to address hoardings and speculation in the system adversely impact community welfare, hindering the poor from accessing essential goods due to the selfish traders hiding markets, supply for personal gains. These three ways will indirectly have positive impact on society and the country's economy, where it can reduce income inequality through zakat, where the redistribution of wealth from rich to the less able to take place, promoting community welfare as well as promoting corporate social responsibility. Then it creates investment ethical and maintenance of social stability where Sharia principles are applied in Islamic financial system.
Poverty is an economic condition of lacking basic necessities needed to live a reasonable life. This includes the need for money, food, water, education, and shelter. Poverty reduction is a process aiming to reduce the level of poverty in a group of people or countries. Islamic economy reduces the poverty through well-managed resources, which falls under proper distribution of wealth and income. Some of the instruments are zakat, work, guarantees from capable relatives, obligation other than zakat, voluntary donation, state guarantee like wakaf, and Islamic mode of financing or trading like mudarabah, musyarakah, murabahah, ijarah, as well as al-qard al-hasan. By efficiently managing the resources in the economy, this Islamic-based system has successfully proven to be the best system to alleviate poverty and many other issues like social equality. We can see its success during the era of the Caliph Umar bin Abdul Aziz government, where there was an absence of people who wanted to accept zakat as an indicator that all the people were well off. Indeed, resources must be managed properly for poverty to be alleviated. If resources and wealth can be managed well, like how an Islamic economy works, both scarcity and poverty could be reduced immensely.
The main aim of Islamic economists is to achieve al-falah, which means well-being in various aspects, both in this world and hereafter. This includes spiritual, cultural, political, social, and economic well-being. Al-falah encourages individuals to strive for employment free from want and to grow spiritually and culturally. So material prosperity isn't essential. Even with minimum of for survival, al-falah can be achieved. So another aim is to promote economic growth by eradicating poverty. This involves abolishing interest on capital, distributing zakat, and encouraging sharecropping. Abolishing interest on capital boosts investment, increases production, and helps overcome poverty. States play a role in distributing zakat to assist those in needs. The Islamic economics also aims to promote human well-being by emphasizing brotherhood, socio-economic justice, and balanced satisfaction of material and spiritual needs. Islam defines worker rights and obligations, making employers and the states responsible. This includes determining just wages, immediate payment, and ensuring wages don't fall below a minimum level. Workers, in return, are responsible for their work and property of employers. The ethical guidelines aims to advance mutual interests and promotes economic growth. Islam encourages achieving material and spiritual needs through perfecting one's work, intertwining both aspects for a balanced life.
The Sustainable Development Goals (SDG) aim to transform our world. They are a call to action to end poverty and inequality, protect the planet, and ensure that all people enjoy health, justice, and prosperity. It is critical that no one is left behind. However, to achieve these goals, studies need to be conducted and proper initiatives must be carried out. By having an Islamic-based system and a community that utilizes the scarce resources through proper distribution, we believe that economic growth and SDGs can be achieved.